The missing of Amaka. The following morning, Amaka was on her way to the stream to fetch water as requested by her mother. On her way to the river, she met her friend Chioma, who was just returning from the farm. She carried a log of firewood on her head, already tired and looking exhausted. Amaka, how are you doing? They both exchanged pleasantries and smiled together. Longest time, Amaka. I'm going to the river to fetch water, and I feel like you should see me off. Her friend Choma was ready to help her, but she looked exhausted already and doesn't know if she would follow Amaka or not. She was reluctant and unable to follow her. After much pleading from Amaka, she decided to follow her to the stream. Chioma offloaded the log of firewood on her head and kept it by the roadside. She packed little dry leaves to cover it up, which serves as a concealment for the firewood. Kindly subscribe to our channel right now to support this channel for more interesting and captivating stories like this. Your contribution matters a lot. Thanks so much. Amaka and Chioma began their journey to the river. They two were happy to see each other after some months. Chioma had been busy helping her mother with palm kernel business, one of the profitable business in the village. Her father was a renowned palm wine tapper, very popular in the village. Amaka told her friend Chioma about her intimate relationship with Obioma and how Chike has been the stumbling block. Chioma looked surprised and inquired, "Which Obioma are you talking about?" Chioma replied. Amaka smiled at Chioma. "Don't you know my one and only Obioma, the popular hunter we know in our town?" Chioma was so sad to hear this. She had been crushing on Obioma for ages, but she didn't know how to disclose this to Amaka. She had to pretend not to know anything about it. They both continued their journey to the river, but this time around, Chioma's voice and tone changed instantly. She hardly responds to Amaka, unlike before. When they finally got to the river, Amaka fetched water. She had this urge and feeling to swim. "Chioma, can we swim? Are you ready to swim?" Amaka inquired. Chioma, who was already anticipating to go home, turned down the suggestion. They both left the stream after Amaka had done fetching water. On their way back home, as they are getting closer to where Chioma dropped off her firewood, behold, a mighty giant snake appeared beside the firewood. Amaka was so terrified when she saw this. She was already shaking and finally threw away the water on her head and ran away. Chioma saw this. She was laughing and making jest of her. You think you can collect my husband and goats scot-free? Meanwhile, Chioma was an extraordinary person. She knew so much about the snake. Suddenly, the snake transformed back into human, which happened to be in second in command in the marine kingdom. Chioma gave the snake a pleasant welcome. She spoke to the snake girl. Why this sudden visit? You almost scared my friend. The snake girl answered, I came to avenge for you on the same issue on ground. I can see she's dragging Obioma with you, and she has beaten more than she can chew. What punishment do you want me to give her? The snake girl asked. Chioma was so happy to hear this. She had been thinking of how to deal with her before. Now, here is a perfect opportunity for her. Help me to punish her by making her disappear. Nobody should know her whereabouts, Chioma asked. The snake girl granted the wish of Chioma and finally disappeared. Amaka appeared home empty-handed. The tension of what she saw still on her. She was in shock. It was her first experience of seeing a large giant snake like that, not knowing that it was all planned by her evil friend, Chioma. But how do we know a genuine friend? How can we differentiate between bad friends and good friends? We have to be extra careful when choosing friends. We don't know those that have good intentions for us and the ones with bad intentions. Amaka's mother has been expecting water since. It was because of this she had not cooked. She looked famished already because of this. Amaka finally entered the house. Instead of providing water, she narrated the snake incident. Her mother was so frustrated. Is that what I sent you? She yelled at her. How do you expect us to cook without seeing water? And you knew how important this could be. If you see a snake, why not go your own way? You will have to go back to the river and fetch the water, her mother insisted. Amaka had no option than to obey her parent. She knew that she was already angry and there's nothing she can do to convince her. She was forced to go back to the stream by her mother. Obioma, a very popular hunter in the village, has missed her lover Amaka so much. He was already in the forest looking for bushmeat to kill for her mother and her lover. After searching the forest for some hours, he hadn't seen a single animal. He was looking frustrated, and he made up his mind that he would surely give whatever it takes to get Amaka a bushmeat. Obioma was already tired and exhausted after searching the nook and cranny of the forest. He found nothing. Few minutes later, he didn't know when he dozed off. He finally took a snap after a long hectic day in the forest. Obioma was walking in the forest, and suddenly he saw a very big deer in front of him. He was very happy and ready to shoot. Wow, the gods has finally answered my prayer. This would go to my lover, Amaka. Gently and slowly, he quickly cocked his gun, ready to shoot. He aimed the gun at the deer, and he finally pulled the trigger. It was a nice shot. He went to where the deer was to carry the dead animal. But weird things happened. The place was empty and nothing was found. Obioma had never experienced this kind of thing before. This is strange, he lamented, and for the second time, the deer he shot appeared again. He couldn't hesitate to shoot for the second time, but the same thing happened. While yawning and stretching his legs, Obioma woke up from his slumber. He later realized it was a dream that he had. He didn't understand what type of dream is it. It was already getting late in the evening time. Obioma still insisted on getting bushmeat. As he walked forward, he saw the deer again in real life. Obioma's heart beat so fast. He was now contemplating on whether to shoot or not. He knew that the deer might try to disappear again if he shoots. Obioma studied the animal for a while, and they both glanced at each other. And suddenly, the deer disappeared from the area. Obioma's instinct was telling him that this is a bad omen. It's already late in the evening. He had to use his headlamp to return back home without seeing any animal to kill. On his way back, he met Chioma, the beautiful damsel. She tried to seduce him. Obioma didn't understand why she was doing this. Obioma left her there and returned home. Meanwhile, Amaka had been reluctant to return back to the river due to the snake she encountered before. But her mother has told her not to return home if she doesn't fetch water. Amaka was in the forest alone, thinking of how she would fetch the water. It was already late in the night. When she got there, as she was about fetching the water, a strange being appeared to her and took her to an unknown region. Only a clay pot remained there. Amaka's mother was confused and looked worried. She realized a silly mistake for sending her only daughter to the forest. It was already late in the night. Amaka had not returned back yet. Amaka's father had just gone back from the farm. He asked of Amaka. Mrs. Oluchi, who was Amaka's mother, had to cook up a cock and bull story that her father won't notice. She had gone to her friend Choma. They are helping her mother with work. So Amaka would be sleeping over in her place, but she would return back the following morning. In the night, Mrs. Oluchi could hardly sleep. She couldn't stop thinking of Amaka. She worried all night as she regretted pushing her daughter away. The following morning, Obioma was the first person to visit Amaka's house. She only met her mother. Her father had gone out. "Good morning, ma. I've come to visit Amaka. Is she at home?" Obioma asked. Mrs. Oluchi looked worried. She couldn't have other choice than to disclose the serious matter to her lover. Amaka had been found missing since yesterday. "What? How did it happen? Where went she?" Obioma lamented. He is breathing heavily. "I sent her to the river and she hasn't returned." They both ran hurriedly to the river. On getting there, they found only the clay pot of Amaka there, but there was no traces of her. Amaka's mother, Mrs. Oluchi, was already in tears. She can't control her emotions anymore. Obioma was so confused. He searched thoroughly the innermost part of the forest for her, but nothing was found. He asked Amaka's mother to go back home. He promised her he won't return back unless Amaka was found. The news about Amaka's disappearance spread easily across the entire village. Some people were happy and some were not. Another rumors also spread across the community that Obioma had used her for sacrifice. When Chike heard about the disappearance of Amaka, he wasn't happy because she wanted to have her and lay with her, even if it is once. But on the other hand, it was his best opportunity to frame up Obioma so he can have direct access to Amaka. Weeks later, the matter had gone to the palace. The king wasn't happy. He had a meeting with his council of elders. The king's intention was to banish Obioma from the community. Chioma and the snake girl were so happy to hear the disappearance of Amaka. Chioma had to thank the snake girl for a job well done. She believed that the stumbling block has been removed, and now she can have Obioma to herself alone. She was very happy. Chioma told her friends that she is getting married soon to Obioma. The news has been circulating across the village. Mr. Akpan, Amaka's father, paid a visit to the shrine. He planned to inquire from the gods why his daughter was missing. On getting there, he met the village chief priest there. The chief priest gave him a pleasant welcome. "I'm not happy at all. How can my daughter suddenly disappear for the past 7 days and nothing has been done?" Mr. Akpan lamented. Have you subscribed to our channel yet? Please kindly click on the subscribe button now to see more inspiring stories like this. God bless you as you do so. Thanks so much. The chief priest replied, "Calm down, my son. I will ask from the gods what the issue is." The chief priest started invoking the gods in seeking answers to the mysterious event that happened. After the completion of the invocation, the gods were silent. He told Mr. Akpan about this. He was so disappointed to hear this. How can the gods be silent? Are you telling me the gods doesn't have powers anymore? He yelled out of frustration. The chief priest also was confused. He didn't know why the gods has refused to speak. He was thinking of appeasing the gods with a sacrifice. Maybe they would speak. He told Mr. Akpan about this. "Bring 8 fowls and a goat to perform the ritual. Maybe the gods would answer." Mr. Akpan, who is desperate of seeing her only daughter, accepted to bring those items as required from the gods. The story continues.